As our honoree tonight for the Jerusalem Banquet, I felt it would be good for other people to get to know you the way some of your friends do. You're not one who seeks a lot of personal spotlight, but we'd like to just share a little bit of who Ron Plotkin is with the viewers this evening. You were born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, a Midwestern boy, second-generation American.
That's true.
Tell us a little bit about your upbringing, your family, the community that you grew up in.
My parents were hard-working people. They both worked in the same factory. My father worked in the morning from 7 till 3. My mother came in at 3 and worked from 3 to 11. I was extremely proud of them. They were proud of me. I did the things that they wanted by getting the good grades and being bar mitzvahed, so we were happy all the way around.
Ron, when you were growing up, you were not particularly religious, is that correct?
I was active as a young man in the community. I was president of AZA, and as a young man after I had just gotten married, I also became president of one of the largest B'nai B'rith lodges in the Midwest. But there was not a lot of religion in my background.
So in your early years, what was your understanding of Israel?
I really didn't learn that much about Israel until I started dating my wife, and my mother-in-law-to-be had been in the Holocaust, and even though she was a little firecracker and a lot of fun to be around, as with most people that were involved with the Holocaust, they didn't like to talk about it, so it would only come out in tidbits. And slowly but surely, I began to learn what they had gone through. I got to meet some of their relatives from Israel who would tell me some things, but not everything. And it was over a long period of time before I really began to learn about Israel.
To what would you attribute your strong desire to see the Jewish state built up and supported?
A variety of things had an impact on my life. For example, when we were living in Milwaukee and I was leading that B'nai B'rith lodge that I spoke about, one day we were notified that a group of skinheads with swastikas on their uniforms and swastikas painted on their bodies were going to be coming up from Illinois, and they were going to march in downtown Milwaukee in front of an old department store called Gimbel's. And I started receiving telephone calls from a lot of people that were very concerned about this, that Jewish people in the community were going to be coming down there with baseball bats, and Ron, you have to do something, because there was a chance that somebody was going to get hurt or somebody was going to get murdered or whatever. And that was the first time that I realized that there were more people in the community that had an involvement with the Holocaust. And there was this pent-up feeling that when they saw and heard what these skinheads were having to say, that these people reached a boiling point. Fortunately, I knew the mayor and the police chief, and in Milwaukee, if you were going to march or do a parade, you needed a permit. And at the last moment, a group of us were able to get that permit revoked so that this march could not take place, and these folks did not have to come out with their baseball bats, and we didn't have to go through what could have been a total disaster. But it was things like that that impacted my life, and I realized how important Israel was and how important the people of Israel were, that I made up my mind that I was going to do whatever I could to help.
Now, your philanthropic and political efforts have put you in contact with presidents and prime ministers and some of the world's major business leaders. What is the message about Israel that you like to share with other leaders?
I think probably the most important thing that I'd like to tell them is the truth. This democracy in the Middle East that is our friend is a democracy that we need to support. And unfortunately, because of some of the media in the United States, people aren't getting the truth that they should be getting.
Jewish and Christian leaders are gathering together for the Eagle's Wings Jerusalem Banquet. And as they come together, they're going to be celebrating shared values, but also supporting Israel in a very unique way through the Eagle's Wings Israel Experience College Scholarship. Why do you believe that it's important to give young students, young leaders who are not Jewish, an educated heart for Israel?
That, as far as I'm concerned, is relatively simple because, as I mentioned earlier, some of the slant in the media here in the United States, unless these young people can do the same thing I did, and that is to go to Israel and meet the people of Israel and see what is really going on over there, that is the opportunity that Eagle's Wings presents to so many young people.
Now, when Dr. Robert Stearns, the head of Eagle's Wings, first approached you about being the honoree for the Jerusalem banquet, you were a little reluctant. You really didn't want any extra spotlight. Why did you finally agree to be the honoree?
Well, first of all, I didn't want a lot of spotlight, not a little spotlight. Second of all, have you ever tried to say no to Dr. Stearns?
He's very persistent when he believes something.
And very persuasive. He works very closely with some people that I deeply admire. My first contact with Eagle's Wings was through Howard and Sonia Waldo, and there were people like the Wolf family, the Hoffman family, the Milsteins. These are all very smart people, and people that I admire. The Leeds family. These people would not be involved with Eagle's Wings if Eagle's Wings wasn't a high-quality, extremely valuable organization. They do high-quality work. When you have the opportunity to meet the students who have made this trip and have spent time over there living and working and eating with the locals in Israel, it gives you an amazing feeling. The second part of it would be the fact that I am, after making numerous trips now to Israel and getting to meet high-level folks as well as the local folks, I am so impressed with the country and with the people that we need to do everything that we possibly can to make sure that that country is safe and secure.